Welcome to Essential Biz Marketing. Let's begin with a landmark dispute linking trade and environmental protection. The Tuna-Dolphin case shows how global trade rules can clash with ecological concerns. Let's explore the heart of the controversy. This WTO case centered on how trade regulations impacted efforts to protect dolphins. It marked the start of a complex battle between trade norms and sustainability. The conflict quickly gained international significance. The case revealed deep tensions between environmental goals and global trade obligations. It spotlighted how policies in one country could affect industries worldwide. At its core, this was a U.S.-Mexico dispute. The debate reshaped not only tuna fishing practices, but also international trade law. It had lasting implications for both marine conservation and trade policy. Let's trace how the issue began. In the 1980s, tuna fishing raised serious concerns about marine life. The eastern tropical Pacific became a hotspot for environmental scrutiny. Fishing practices posed a direct threat to dolphins. Purse-seine nets often trapped dolphins swimming alongside tuna. This method led to high dolphin mortality during commercial fishing. The U.S. responded with strong trade restrictions. To protect dolphins, the U.S. banned tuna imports caught with dangerous nets. This marked the first time trade measures targeted marine life protection. The U.S. began legal reforms to address the issue. In 1972, the Marine Mammal Protection Act was enacted to reduce dolphin deaths. It served as a legal foundation for later tuna import restrictions. Enforcement became stricter in the 1990s. Tuna imports were banned unless countries met dolphin safety standards equal to U.S. rules. This created tension with major exporters like Mexico. A labeling system was added to reinforce the rules. The Dolphin Safe label applied only to tuna caught without encircling dolphins. It influenced global seafood labeling and consumer expectations. Mexico strongly opposed the U.S. restrictions. Mexico argued that U.S. tuna regulations acted as unfair trade barriers. They claimed the rules violated the spirit of free trade. The legal battle officially began in the early 1990s. In 1991 and 1994, Mexico filed complaints under GATT against U.S. import bans. This marked the dispute's entry into the international trade system. GATT panels sided with Mexico at first. They ruled that the U.S. tuna bans breached trade obligations under GATT. However, enforcement of the rulings faced complications. A shift in global trade governance delayed resolution. The GATT rulings were never adopted due to the transition to the WTO system. As a result, the U.S. measures stayed in place for years. The dispute returned under the WTO system. In 2008, Mexico refiled its complaint under WTO rules. This reopened the case in a stronger legal framework. The World Trade Organization issued a major ruling in 2011. It found that U.S. dolphin-safe labeling discriminated against Mexican tuna products. This marked a turning point in the dispute. The U.S. tried to resolve the issue. In 2013, the U.S. revised its labeling rules to address WTO concerns. However, Mexico claimed the changes were still insufficient. The WTO ruled again in 2015. Despite the revisions, the WTO found the U.S. measures still violated trade rules. Tensions between trade and environmental goals remained unresolved. A shift came in 2017. The WTO appellate body ruled that the revised U.S. labeling system now complied with trade rules. This was a major legal win for the U.S. The final chapter arrived in 2018. The WTO upheld the U.S. position, declaring the Dolphin Safe label non-discriminatory. This effectively ended the long-standing tuna dispute. Let's examine the broader consequences. The Tuna-Dolphin case had major implications for both trade and environmental policy. It became a global benchmark for eco-linked trade regulation. Economically, Mexico's access was restricted. The case reshaped the global tuna trade by limiting Mexican exports. It disrupted long-standing commercial supply chains. Environmental goals were strengthened. The case promoted sustainable fishing practices worldwide. It also encouraged greater international cooperation on marine protection. The case revealed deep legal tensions. Trade environment conflicts are complex and constantly evolving. No easy balance exists between market access and environmental safeguards. Legal alignment proved difficult. Balancing WTO trade law with environmental goals created policy dilemmas. The dispute exposed the limitations of existing trade frameworks. Yet it also created new standards. The Tuna-Dolphin case set precedents for eco-friendly trade measures. It showed how environmental concerns could be integrated into WTO compliance. Let's wrap up the 30-year journey. The Tuna-Dolphin dispute spanned over 3 decades of legal battles. It became a defining example of trade-environment conflict. Policy alignment was the key lesson. The case showed that environmental rules must align with global trade norms. This alignment is critical for enforceable, lasting solutions. A final ruling shaped the future. The 2018 WTO decision helped reconcile trade law with sustainability. It continues to influence global trade negotiations and standards. Thank you for watching. We look forward to exploring more essential cases in international business.